Turf Business TV are now with Jim Holden from TurfCare. And Jim, I'm particularly interested to talk to you about a holistic approach that you have as a business to TurfCare and something that you're calling 3PA. Can you just explain a little bit about that?
Yep, certainly. TurfCare 3PA stands for TurfCare three-pronged approach. And I suppose the three-pronged approach is kind of looking at what's happening within the industry, I suppose with industry changes and industry challenges, particularly with some products being taken off the market, and whether it's fungicides or insecticides, and trying to produce top quality playing surfaces is becoming more of a challenge because of those changes that the industry has forced upon us. I suppose it's we've been running the 3PA for the last number of years, but looking back over the history of the company, we've always focused on plant nutrition, and that's one part of the 3PA. And the plant nutrition side of things is always about creating the healthiest plant possible, seeking the best technology out there, traveling the world, going to trade shows, and looking for new innovation. So we've always been focused on plant nutrition, and that's what we've always done for 25, 30 years. I suppose with the changes and the challenges that are there, our customers are even, needing to look for this area of solution because of fungicide restrictions, because the fungicides aren't as good as what they used to be either. So before, you could rely on the fungicides and rely on very good fungicides. So now we try and create plant health through plant nutrition. So that's one element of it. The second element really is through moisture management, through surfactant technology. And again, we have some new surfactant technology that's a couple of years old, ProWet Evolve RST technology. And with that, I suppose it's not just about managing moisture stress, it's about also creating plant health through moisture management of the leaf and of the crown, particularly in disease pressure times. It allows us to keep that leaf drier during stress periods, but also to be more sustainable and looking at reducing irrigation cycles. With that surfactant, we can, Evolve will allow you to reduce your irrigation inputs by 40 to 50%. So, if you're reducing your water, you're not potentially adding to a disease issue. And then the third part of the 3PA will be cultivar selection. So we now have the Teat Green brand, but we have the 5th generation offerings, and Pure Distinction, Pure Select, and Crystal Blue Links. And those three are the new 5th generation, but they're bred for our climate, UK-Irish climate, with PO in mind. And for argument's sake, the Crystal Blue Links it'll grow, thrive, and produce excellent putting surfaces with 3 to 4 hours sunlight a day. So that's kind of the philosophy behind it. There's a lot more to it than that. Obviously, soil science, plant nutrition comes together. But we're trying to do things without the reliance on chemicals.
And you mentioned sustainability there. Is that the underpinning thing of everything you're doing here, or is it really just about good surfaces?
Sustainability is very, very important. I mean, as I say, if you're having to rely on fungicides to produce playing surfaces, there's something wrong, whether it's, the foundation of that root zone or that sports pitch, whether it's not draining properly, oxygen exchange, or whether there's an element of nutrition missing. And we look for that key, and we look through our soil sampling, our soil analysis, we dive deeper, and we just look beyond NP and K. I mean, NP and K has changed hugely over the last 30 years. I mean, we were one of the first companies to bring in methylene urea, slow release fertilizers from the States, and then one of the first to bring in foliar fertilizing, liquid fertilizing. So we're always looking for that edge. We're always looking to produce better surfaces, but in a sustainable way that we're not relying on the fungicide. If you're spraying fungicides, there's something wrong, and sometimes we have to, but we shouldn't be relying on them as much as what maybe we have been in the past.
And this 3PA, you have a tie-up or an arrangement with Soil Scout. How big a part of that program is Soil Scout?
Yeah, well, Soil Scout is, again, it's kind of, I suppose, innovation. Like, our slogan would be driven by innovation. And when we saw the Soil Scout product range, we were very interested in it, that It's wireless. It's one of the only wireless products on the market. It's feeding data to your phone every 20 minutes. Soil, moisture, temperature, and salinity. And if you think of those three areas, I mean, it fits perfectly what we do from a plant nutrition, moisture management point of view. But you can be more proactive rather than reactive. And again, back to the sustainable side of things. In the past, people were turning on irrigation systems and maybe putting out too much water, and there's going to be a time when when we're going to have to pay for water. So being more prudent on how we use that, and using technology and data is critical and key. So we think this is a great fit for what we do and our products, and our customers will be able to make a more prescribed application rather than just looking at things with the naked eye, or spending a lot of time going around with handheld devices that you spend a lot of time doing that, and the data becomes relevant maybe 4 or 5 hours later. So getting data every 20 minutes is really good.
So in a nutshell, solve the problem before it happens. Yeah. Back that up with good data that shows you what you need to do and what the impacts have been. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the pressure is there with all these chemicals being taken off the market. The membership still demand high quality putting surfaces, but unfortunately they don't know what's happening in the background with the chemical restrictions and stuff. So I mean, turf managers, they're under serious pressure to produce, and we try and help them along the way and work with them very closely, and we've been doing that quite successfully for 30 years now.
Jim, appropriate point to leave it, not least because the bar's now open. So we'll see you soon, I hope.
Thank you very much.
Take care.